Okay, so let's get started. I'm opening class notes. Okay, so in the last class, we discussed about the importance of staging, and we also discussed about configuring the username and the email ID, correct? Okay, so let me go to our repository. So I'm just cloning the repository again. We don't have anything here. Git clone, and then repository name is T63, correct? .git. So this is our repository. In our repository, we have one file, that is login.java, correct? Okay. See this. If you want to see the history of a file, what's that command we use? Git log login.java, correct? Okay. So git log command shows you the commit ID, author name, that means owner of this particular commit, email ID, time, and then submit commit, correct? But is it showing what files are modified in this particular commit? No, right? But at the same time, see, for example, there is a developer, okay? 1 month back, developer committed something to fix some bug or to develop some feature, and developer wants to know how many files are modified as part of this commit. And developer also want to see the content changes. So in that case, what command we use? Git show. Show will give you more information about a commit. Remember that, okay? And you can give the complete commit ID, or you can give first 7 characters also fine, okay? Git says now first 7 characters are enough to make the commit ID unique. See this git show, then if I give commit ID, it gives normal log message, plus you can see the file name here, okay? And you can also see content changes. Remember, plus and then green color means somebody added this line newly, and minus and red color means these lines are deleted. So this file is modified in this particular commit. And what is the content change? Somebody removed these lines and then added one new line here. So that's how you can see the files and then content changes. So this is the command. Clear with this? Any questions about show? One second. Go on mute. Somebody's speaking. One minute. Okay. So, and you know the commit structure, right? If anybody asks you how commit structure looks like, just mention this: commit ID, author, date, and then commit message. Okay. And this is called as SHA value. Okay. You can call it as commit ID, or we call it as SHA value. Let me explain how Git generates that SHA value. Say this is our repository. So you first clone the repository, right? We get target, we get source, and then staging area. So for example, you have login.java here in the repository. When we clone, we get the same thing, correct? You modify the file and then we add it to the stage. And then the moment you commit, so it'll create a separate commit ID, right? Correct. So what happens here is, just before you commit this particular file, Git runs a command on top of this particular file called sha sum command. This command generates the ID, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, ABC. Okay. And then the file will be committed. That's how it works. So this is a commit. This is the initial one, correct? This is the initial one, say 1, for example. And this is the new commit, right? So this one's commit ID becomes 1, 2, 3, ABC. So that's how Git generates this particular SHA value. Since this particular, code is generated by SHSM, command, we call it as SHA value. See this? For example, you take forget about Git for some time. Okay. Say I have some file here. There is some content. Okay. Forget about Git. There is some file, say for example. And then see what I'm doing. SHA one sum. Okay. And then file name. See this? This command is generating this particular code based on the content of the file. Remember, this code is based on the content of the file. See, again I'm running. Code is same, correct? 1C2A, 1C2A. If you modify the content, for example, I'll modify the content. Let me just add one extra line. Now, if I run this, code is different. So this proves that code is generated based on the content of the file. So Git internally uses the same command, sha1, okay, sha1 sum. So you modified the file, you added the file to the stage. Just before you commit, Git runs this particular command on the content of the file that you are now committing. And then this command will generate this number, and then that number will become commit ID. So you call it as commit ID, or we call it as SHA value. SHA value or commit ID. That's how Git generates the ID. Clear with that? Understand how this value is generated? Any questions about that? No need to worry about this, okay? How Git generates the number. Since you're learning, I'm just explaining that. So not very important. Leave it. Okay, so before we proceed further, let's try to assess ourselves. Okay. You know what is remote repository, correct? Remote repository is the place where all users connect to for doing their work, correct? And working directory means this is called working directory. Once you clone the repository, you will get this directory. This is called as working directory, or we also call it as workspace. What do we call this directory? Working directory or workspace. Remember, workspace means, see, this is where we do our work, right? So remember this way, workspace. This is where I do my work. Just a name, that's all. And local repository .git, correct? This is .git. The importance of stage or staging index. You also know how Git generates the SHA value. Okay. And if you want to see the history of a file, git log. And if you want to see the history of the complete repository, for that command we use git log, right? So for file, you just give the file name, correct? And if you want to see the complete history of the repository, just say git log. So we're not giving file name, so it will show you complete repository history. Okay. Sometimes when you are working, say for example, I see git log. Or let me add some more files, okay? One second. Touch form.xml. I'm just adding some files. Git add form.xml file. Git commit -m automation code. Touch, for example, Jenkins.txt, something like that. Git add Jenkins, git commit -m CI automation code, something like that. Okay. Git push. This is my token. This invalid username and password. Let me generate a new password. So how do you generate? Click on this settings. You go to developer settings, personal access tokens, classic. Generate new token, classic. $30 days. This is my code. Right. So git log. How many commits we have? We have a lot of commits. So for example, there is a developer, okay? Developer comes to your desk saying, hello DevOps engineer. I made some commit 1 month back. I made some commit 1 month back. That means I modified something 1 month back. If I use git log command, it is giving me a lot of commits. So if you go and see the real-time repositories, you see hundreds of commits. How many? Hundreds of commits. So when you have hundreds, thousands of commits, yes, thousands of commits. When you have thousands of commits, searching for a particular commit is very difficult, correct? And very oftenly, you or anybody needs, you or anybody will have to check the previous commits. Say, for example, developer fixed a bug 1 month back, and bug crops up again. So developer wants to know what he or she had done 1 month back. In that case, developer will just use git log command, say for example, and Git will list thousands of commits. So developer has to scroll down, through, through commits one by one, and then it takes more time to identify a particular commit, correct? So developer comes to desk and says, DevOps engineer, is there any way using which I can list my own commits? Because I'm not interested in everybody's commits, because searching my commit is very difficult. It is showing thousands of commits. So is there any way using which I can filter my own commits? Very oftenly, we go through this requirement. You say, yes, you can do it. So how do you list commits of a particular user? This is the command, okay? Git log -author -author is equal to give author name. Say, for example, Harry. See, Harry doesn't have any comments. Say, I'll give my name, okay? See, it is showing my name, my comments. So this will save a lot of time for you. So in real time, when you're working, we use this option very frequently. Clear with this option? Okay. So same developer comes next day to you and again says, okay, yesterday, right, you saved a lot of my time. You helped me with an option using which I can list my own commits. But today, again, I'm searching for some change, some commit. And if I use this option, -author, it is again showing me a lot of my own commits. Again, it is taking some time for me to search for a particular commit. Is there any other way using which I can list a particular commit? There is one more option. Okay, you can also use this. If you remember, the commit message, based on the commit message also, you can list the commit. You can search for a commit. So you ask developer, do you remember the commit message? And you don't need to remember complete commit message. Okay, any one word is also fine. So developer will say, I gave something like module. So how do you search for that commit? -f grep is equal to, you can give commit message, at least one word. See this, in this particular commit, you have this word. So it is listing the exact commit for you. So developer is very happy now, right? And once developer lists that particular commit, developer will use this command, git show, and then commit ID. So developer can see the change. Okay, in this particular commit, I modified login.java, and then I added these lines to that particular file. Clear with this? It's not just developer, okay? When you are working, very frequently, you also want to find out a particular commit. In that case, these two options help us very much. Understand about that? Two options, -author, -grep. You can also, combine both like this. -author, -grep is equal to, say, CI, something like that. This one. If you don't give this option, tell me what will happen. Can somebody else? If I don't give this author, if I give only grep, what will happen? What will happen if I don't give hyphen author?
Oh, we will not get the author detail.
So if you don't give hyphen author, what happens? It will search for a commit where this particular word is present in the commit message, and it will give you everybody's commit, correct? You're not filtering commits based on a particular author, correct? So it will give you all commits where this word is present. I'm interested in my own commits, so I can also give author. Author is equal to something like this. Okay, for example, Harry. So it will search for only Harry's commits. In Harry's commits, it will give you a commit which has this word in commit message. So you can also use both. I have given these 3 comments here. You can go through that. Just commit something and then execute this command and then practice. Okay. So for example, there is a file in the remote repository. Okay. I clone the repository and then I modify the file. Let's modify some file. Git status. There are no modifications, right? Let me modify this file called jenkins.txt. Okay, something like this. Pipelines. I'm just adding something of it. And then I run git status command. Git status command tells you, it little list all the files that you have modified, that are modified, correct? Okay. Again, in real time, when we are working, sometimes we will be modifying multiple files, 10, 15 files. For example, to fix a bug, I modify 10, 15 files. Today I modified 4, 5 files. Tomorrow again 5 files. Day after tomorrow again 5 files, and so on. After third day, I want to commit. And before I commit, I want to verify. I want to review changes that I made in a particular file. Now, how do I list the changes? Got the point, right? So git status is just telling you that, okay, this file is modified, but what content is modified in the file? That's also very important, right? You want to review, right, before you commit. So how do you check what content is modified? In that case, we use a command called git diff. Remember, git diff file name. See, diff command tells you, it lists the content changes. So it says it is telling you that in this particular file you added these lines. Plus green color means you added these lines. That's how you can see the content changes of a file, which is in the source area, here. Clear with that? See, if you remember all these commands, you can very easily work in real time. Okay, it's just that simple. Say for example, I modified the file. I know how to list the content changes. And then say for example, I add this particular file to the staging area. Git add jenkins.txt. Git status. So again, the same thing. Okay, I modified the file. All right, maybe 5 files today. I add them to the stage, because see, you cannot finish complete work in one day, right? So we'll be working on a particular issue for sometimes 3, 4, 5 days also. So I modify a few files today and then I staged. Tomorrow again I modify some files and then I staged, and things like that. So after third day or fourth day, I want to commit, right? And now file is not in the source area. See, this file is not in the source area. If you have the file in the source area, you know how to list the content changes. But in this case, file is in staging area. So if the file is in staging area, how do you list the content changes? Is it working here? No, it's not working. So if the file is in the staging area, and if you want to see the content changes, you have to just add one option here because it is in stage, right? Stage. What is that option? -F staged. And you can see possible, right? You modified something here, right? After 3 days, you want to see the content changes. You know how to do that. You modified something and then you staged your file. Now the file is in stage. Before you commit, you want to see, right? What has been modified here. You know the command git diff file name, git diff -f staged and then file name. And then say you commit it. When you commit, it will create a separate commit ID, correct? This one. So you committed it. And then this is the commit ID, say 1, 2, 3, ABC. Now, can somebody tell me after commit, if I want to see the content changes, what is the command we use? Once the changes are committed, right? I want to know the content changes of this commit. How can I list that?
Git show.
Git show, yes. Say I'm committing, okay? Git commit -m, right? Jenkins code, okay? Say file name, git log. 1 second. Okay, see this git log. And if you want to know the content changes, you know, right? Git show commit ID. See this. So if you want to list the content changes of the file which is in source area, git diff -f staged, git show. These commands are also very useful for us. Git diff staged show. Clear with these 3 commands? Any questions? These are all simple git commands which we use in our day-to-day work. If you know these commands, you can very easily work on the files without anybody's help. Sorry. Clear with these commands? Any questions? Okay. So we will be modifying existing files like this, correct? We will be sometimes creating new files, right? We will be sometimes also deleting the files. So question comes, how do you delete a file? How do you delete a file in Git? Got the point? Say for example, you have addition.java. Okay, you have addition.java. You have say subtraction.java. You are consolidating code of these 2 files and then creating something called math.java, for example. So you move the code from these 2 files to a single file here, math.java, right? Now you want to delete these 2 files because this code is moved to this file, right? So once the code is moved, you don't want a.java and then s.java, right? So in that case, how do you delete the file? It's a question. Let me delete a file, okay? Say this. Let's delete this pam.xml file, some file. Git status. I don't have anything, any modifications. If you want to delete a file, we use a command called git rm. Remember that. Git rm and then file name. That's how we delete the file. So git rm and then file name. See this? Just run it. Git status. See, it says this file has been deleted. ls-a. There is no file here. And remember, usually when you modify something, the change will be in the source area, correct? If you modify the file here, it will be in the source area, right? But see, here in this case, there is a file called pom.xml file, right? There is a file called Jenkins and the login.java. 3 files were there. I deleted it. And this, one second. So in remote repository, I have pom.xml file, and then I have jenkins.txt. So when we clone, we get all these things, right? Pom.xml file, Jenkins, pom.xml file, Jenkins, pom.xml file, and then jenkins.txt. Say I want to delete the file. How do I delete the file? Git rm. So if you delete the file, if you run that git rm command, right, file is deleted in the source area, and also this will be staged automatically. See the green color? It is also automatically staged, correct? And now when you commit, what will happen? Same file will be deleted in the local repository also. And then you push it. It will be deleted in the remote repository also. So how many files we have in the remote repository now? Only two. That's how you delete the file. Okay, see this. Now let me commit it. Okay, git commit -m, and then I say deleting Maven automation code, something like that. Okay, and then file is deleted. ls-a git status. Now it is deleted in the local repository. If you push, it will be deleted in the remote repository also. See, git push. If you want to store the credentials permanently, what is that command we use? It is there in the notes. Okay, let me run that. I don't want to type the password again and again. Okay, so this is the command: git config -f global credential helper store. Okay, so changes are pushed to a remote repository, correct? Let me show this to you. Say, let me remove it. Okay, now if I clone, that pom.xml file should not be there, correct? Because it's deleted in the remote repository, right? It is deleted in the remote repository. Now, if anybody clones the code from the remote repository, they get only login.java and then jenkins.txt. They will not get this pom.xml file. Let's see. Let's test it. Okay. Say I'm cloning the repository again. Git clone vycult63. Okay. Enter. Go to vycult63 ls-a. Now you see pom.xml file is not there. That's how you delete a file from the repository. Understand this? Any questions about file deletion? Any questions? Okay. Can somebody guess if I delete a file, is it, if I delete a file from the repository, is that deletion permanent? Is that deletion permanent? Or I can get that file? If I delete a file, will it be deleted permanently, or I can get that file again if I want? Say this: deletion is not permanent in Git. deletion of a file is not permanent in Git. How? Say this. For example, this is your first commit. Okay, first commit. This is my second commit. Say, for example, here I have login.java and then jenkins.txt, two files. And then in another commit, I added. So in this third commit, login.java is there, jenkins.txt is there, and then palm.xml file is also there, for example. So this is third commit. Okay. So here we have third commit, and then you have three files here, right? Very simple. You first created login.java. In the second commit, you created jenkins.txt. And in third commit, you added this particular file. So how many files do you have in your repository? Three files are present. Okay. Right. Now, that is what you have in the remote repository. You clone this. When you clone, what you will get here? You will get all these commits, correct? Say the latest one you will get, correct? Say this is our first one, first commit. In second commit, you have two files. In third commit, you have three files. This is your this palm.xml file. 1, 2, 3. Simple, right? Are you understanding or not? Because nobody is responding.
This deletion part, like little bit confusing.
Okay. So this is how it works. Assume that this is your repository, okay? This is you. You first created a folder and then you push it to the remote repository or local repository. There will be a folder here, correct? Number one. You add the file and then again commit it. In second commit, you will see first commit plus whatever you modified here. Assume that you again added one more file, created one more file, and then you committed. What will happen? It will create a third commit. Third commit will be having previous things plus new one, this one. Again, you add one more file here, and then you are committing. For each and every commit, right? Every time you modify something and then commit, there'll be separate commit ID, right? This is the fourth one. So fourth one will have previous things plus the new one. So each and every commit will have the previous files plus modifications happened in that one. So what is modified here? This one. What is modified here? This one. What is modified here? This one. What is the modification here? You create this particular folder, correct? So that's how Git stores the commits. Say for example, here you created login.java. In second commit, somebody added jenkins.txt. So in 2, you have login plus Jenkins. In 3, you have login, Jenkins, and then palm.xml file. So these are the commits you have in the remote repository. So what is the latest one? This one. So when you clone the repository, same thing you will get here, correct? So first one, second one, third one, right? See, this is your remote repository. This is your local repository. Remote repository, local repository, both are same, correct? That's the reason we call it a clone. Clone means your local repository is exact copy of remote. And then it will show you the latest commit files here for your modification. We cannot modify the code directly here, right? So whatever you have in the remote repository, everything comes here. And then it will show you the latest one. So what is the latest commit? There is a login.java, there is jenkins.txt, and then here you have palm.xml file, 3 files. And you can modify these files, correct? Understand this so far? Any question? Okay, one second. I'll take your questions. Let me finish my explanation. So now I'm deleting the file. Assume that I delete the file. I'm deleting this, pom.xml file. But how do you delete pom.xml file? Git rm. Okay, of course, here also you'll be having the same file, right? Here you have login.java, pom.xml, and then Jenkins.txt. 3 files you have. Now you deleted pom.xml file using git rm file name. So what will happen? That will delete the file in the source area, and then it will also stage it. So the file is deleted in the staging area. Now you commit it. You know what will happen? For each and every change, there will be a new commit, correct? So it will create a fourth one. It create a fourth commit. So login.java is there, jenkins.txt is there, and pom.xml file is not there because you deleted it, right? You deleted it, the file here. So it is just that any modification you make, there will be a commit for that, correct? So you deleted the file, and then when you commit, what will happen? In latest commit, it will not store that file. It will not store the file here. There is no pom.xml file. There is no pom.xml file. Now you push it. When you push, what will happen? Here you see login.java, jenkins.txt, fourth commit, and then there is no pom.xml file. That means what? File is deleted, right? File is deleted. Now, when somebody clones the repository now, they get the latest, correct? Imagine that Sally is cloning the repository. When Sally takes clones, Sally will get only login and then Jenkins because it will give you the latest. And in the latest commit, the file is not there. pom.xml file is not there. It is deleted. So that's how Git deletes files. And now you tell me, assume that I deleted this pom.xml file. I deleted pom.xml file. It is not there in the repository. Okay, deleted pom.xml file. If I want that particular file, can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get that file back if I want? Or you just tell me, is this file permanently deleted from the repository or it is still there somewhere?
We can get it back, sir.
Yeah, we can get it back. Because if you see the previous commit, pom.xml file is still there, correct? These are all copies, right? Copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, copy 4. It's just that in the latest copy, right, file is not present. But if you go back to the previous commit 3, file is still there. If you want, you can get it back. For example, if I say git checkout and then 3, this commit ID if I give, it will give me the files, whatever are present till that commit. You can again get it back. So interview question. I deleted some file from Git repository. Can I get it back? Yes, you can get it back. In Git, is the file deletion permanent? No. Okay. Assume that developer comes to you. Okay. Developer asks you to delete a file. Developer asks you to delete a file. So you deleted the file. pom.xml file, you deleted it. And then you committed it. You committed the file. The file is, and then pushed, file is deleted. Correct? In latest, it is not there means what? When somebody clones the code, they'll get the latest, right? So it is not there, so they will also not see that file. It is deleted. Same developer comes to you after 1 hour saying, hello, DevOps engineer. I spent, 1 month time to do some work in this particular file. And my manager, told me that this change is not required. Okay. So I deleted the file. Now again, my manager comes back and says, okay, we want this change. So can you resurrect this file for me. Resurrect means bring it back. How do you bring the deleted file back in the system again? I want this file again. You say, no problem. Even though it is deleted, right? I can still get it for you. So what is the interview question here? How do you bring deleted file back? How do you resurrect a deleted file? How do you bring something back? There is a command for that. There is a command for that. Before I explain this, do you have any questions? Do you understand how deletion happens in Git? Any questions you have? Any confusions? Is the concept clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we want to bring this particular file back in the repository, right? It's very simple. This particular file is present in this commit, right? Correct. And it is not there here. If you want to bring this back, you know what you can do? You can hide this. I'll just hide it. If I hide this commit, what will happen? Tell me. This will become latest, correct? So people can get that file again. But anything you change in Git, there will be a separate commit, correct? You are hiding means you are hiding this, right? And for that also there will be, it's a change, right? It's a change, so there should be a separate commit ID, correct? There should be a separate commit for that. Yes. So if you hide this, once you hide this, Git will create a 5th commit, and then it will bring these changes back. You are hiding this. This will become latest, right? That means this content should become latest. Since it's a change, what it will do? It will create a new commit, okay, and it will bring these files back. Login, Jenkins, and then pom.xml file. So I got this particular file back. This has become latest, correct? Understand that? So file was deleted here. I want to bring that particular file back again. That is there in third. So what I do, I'll just revert this commit. Revert means hiding. Understand that way, okay? I can revert this particular file. Reverting means hiding it. So if you revert this commit, what will happen? So this is hidden, and then this will become latest. And it cannot just make this latest, right? Because you are modifying something, right? There is a change. There is a change means there should be a commit ID, correct? So it will create a commit ID, kind of a duplicate commit ID. This will have the same thing. That's how you can bring the file back. Now you push it. So you have login.java, Jenkins, you have pom.xml file, and this is your 5th commit. And from now on, if anybody clones the repository, they get this latest, and then pom.xml file is there. That's how you bring a deleted file back. Understand this? Any questions? Okay, see this. Let me show this to you. So we just deleted a pom.xml file, correct? This is what we have now. This is the situation we have. There is no pom.xml file here. Okay, let's say git log. Which one is the latest? This is the latest commit, right? 1987. This is the latest, okay? 1987. This one. This one is the latest. Now, here we deleted that pom.xml file in this commit. In this commit, pom.xml file is deleted. And if you go to the previous one, the file is still there, right? This is the previous one. This is 1987. 1987. This is 13dd. 13dd. Now, can somebody tell me which one we have to revert now? Which commit we have to revert? Which commit we have to hide to bring that particular file back? Which commit we have to hide?
1987.
19. This is the latest one, right? If you hide this, this will become the latest, but it will get a new commit with exact content of this, correct? Let me hide it. We don't call it as a hiding the commit. We call it as revert. How do you revert a commit? I'm going to revert this commit now. See this? Let me copy that commit ID. Git revert. That's the command, okay? And then commit ID. That's how you revert a commit. So I'm making some change now. I'm changing something, right? Correct? That means I'm hiding it. I'm reverting it. Reverting means that's a change. And as I said, it will get a separate commit, correct? So login Jenkins and then pom.xml file. That means same content will come here. Okay. And it's a commit, right? Commit means you have to give the commit message, no? Got the point? A commit will have, some history, right? Who modified, what time it is modified, why it is modified, and so on, correct? So somebody has to give the commit ID, right? See this. If I run this command, it will ask me the commit ID automatically. Okay, I'm reverting this commit, enter. See, it is asking for the commit ID. You can write your commit ID here. You don't need to write. See, it is automatically right. Revert. I'm reverting this particular commit. I'm reverting the commit which has this commit message. This reverts commit this. So if you want, you can modify anything. You can write anything here. Usually, it is already there, written. So I don't do anything. I'll just save it. Okay. Save and quit. WQ. It opened in Vim editor. Save and quit. Done. Commit has been reverted. Now you want to see if that file is present or not. Right. So this commit is reverted. Now there should be a new commit. There should be a new commit. See this? Git log. So this is the new commit. See, this is the thing. This is where we deleted the file. This is what we reverted. Okay. This is where we were having the file. So we reverted this, correct? This one. The moment we reverted, it created a new commit, this one. And in this commit, pom.xml file is there. Now you see here, ls -a. See, pom.xml file is there. Status. There is one new file. I'll just remove it. Don't worry about this. You'll understand this later. Okay. See this pom.xml file is there, right? What I'll do now, I'll just push it. Git push. Now, same fifth commit, move to the remote repository. Login Jenkins pom.xml file. Now let's test that. Let me clone it again, like a new user. Okay. As in that, I'm Sally now. Okay. I'm cloning. Git clone yqt63, yqt63, ls-a. See, pom.xml file is there. That's how you resurrect a deleted file. That's how you bring the deleted file back. Understand this? Any questions so far? Let's summarize this, okay? So this is how Git stores the commits. I first create a folder, I commit it. There is a commit number 1. I added another file in my source area. I committed it. So there is a new commit here. So new commit will have the previous one plus the new one. Again, I add one more thing. This will have the previous one plus new one. Again, I add the file. It will carry the previous stuff plus new one. That means now if anybody clones the code, it will give the latest. If anybody wants the code till this point, if this is git checkout 3, for example, it will give you this. It will give you this. It will give you this. Say, for example, there is some issue here. There is some issue here with this file. Now, if there is issue, we can go back to the previous command and then we can take this, right? So if you say git checkout 3, for example, it will give you the code till this point for you. Yes. So that's how Git stores the commits with that commit. There is a pom.sml file here. There is a pom.sml file here. I want to delete it. Git rm deletes the file in the source area, staging area. When I commit, the file is deleted here. It is just that it will not carry that particular file. And then you push it, it will be deleted in the remote repository also. From now on, if everybody clones the code, they won't see the pom.sml file. That's how file deletion happens. Now I want to bring this particular file back. So deletion is not permanent. I can still go back to the previous one, then I can make it latest. If I want to do that, what do you do? Just hide it, revert this particular commit, and Git will get a new commit because this is also a change. And then it will bring the content of this particular one. It will make this as the latest. So here you have login, Jenkins, and then pom.sml file. And then you just push it, you have this. Clear with that? Only 2 commands I taught you. Git rm file name. You know how to remove a file. At least remember that. That is enough for me. Git rm file name. That's how you delete a file. If you want to bring the deleted file back, git revert. 2 commands. I just dragged the discussion because I could have just explained these 2 commands in 3-4 minutes and then stop the discussion, right? So, but I try to explain how internally Git works, how it deletes the file, how the commits look like. So that's what I'm trying to explain. You see, you may not see these things even in Git official documentation also. You have Pro Git, right? I'm sure. I think even that book also don't have such a elaborated explanation. No. So it's my experience, right? So I'm trying to explain the things in my own way with my own diagrams. That's a theory. This is real time, right? Fine. Understand about the removing the file and then bringing the file back. If anybody asks you this question, can you able to answer? How do you delete a file? Can you bring deleted file back? Yes, there is a command called git revert. They will not ask you all this. They'll just ask the command and then you just say git revert and then I'll give the commit ID. Understand that? Any questions for today?
No, all is fine.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Good night.